My name is George Matthews. I'm the captain of the CrossFit team for the Vegan Strong Plant Build team. I've been vegan over 10 years now. It was kind of a long process for me. I originally just cut out dairy. As a result, I had an allergy. At the time, I was in flight school in Pensacola, Florida, and I was having a lot of sinus infections, constantly having sinus problems. I was always taking antibiotics. I had to get surgery twice, and I was about to get medically disqualified from flight training. So I actually had a doctor who said, "Hey, have you tried getting rid of dairy, cutting dairy out of your diet?" And I never heard of anything like it. So I did. I cut dairy out, and then pretty much immediately overnight I felt better. Headaches were gone, sinus problems were gone, everything kind of cleared up almost overnight. And then I got real curious about diet and nutrition, and so I eventually cut out red meat, chicken, all animal products. And so it began for health reasons, and then right around the same time when I was researching veganism, I learned about the impacts it has on the animals, the environment, and kind of just connected the two and became an ethical vegan after that. Yeah, it was all health at first, and then the more I learned, the more I realized and the more I was proud of the fact that my choices didn't affect animals, didn't hurt animals, and help the environment out. Cutting out dairy, the whole thing was interesting to me because I never really thought about it. I didn't treat my body all that well kind of going into this, so I wasn't worried about sleep, I wasn't worried about all that stuff. And so when I had that small change to my diet and saw how much it impacted my health and what I felt like after that, like, I think it's hard for people to realize that they don't feel good when they always don't feel good. And then it was like all of a sudden I just felt incredible, and almost overnight with the dairy, and then every step after that just felt better and better. So it's been quite a journey. There were some challenges. I mean, it's like learning anything else, right? You have to have a little bit of a beginner's mindset and understand that you don't know everything about this, and figuring out like what are the protein sources, how are you going to eat all these different foods. And so there's a little bit of a learning curve, and then after that it becomes almost second nature. And since then it's been pretty smooth sailing. I was able to do it. My last job, I would be deployed kind of on a boat for 60 days at a time. I'd be out in the middle of the ocean, and I was able to bring enough food and make my own meals and do all that and even be vegan in that environment. So really once you get it and you understand the basics, it's like anything else. You just go through your day that way and don't even really think about it.
Could you be with somebody who's not vegan?
I could not. I don't think I could. It would be just such a challenge. I mean, because there's the ethical part of it where I just believe that, we shouldn't be hurting animals and all that stuff. And so it would be really hard for me to be with somebody that didn't understand that or wasn't sympathetic to that and did that kind of thing. I just wouldn't like it. And then honestly, my wife makes all my food too, so I'm super fortunate. She's a chef, and so she makes all my food. So I probably wouldn't survive anyway if she wasn't there making it for me.
And how often do you cheat?
We try and do like an 80% thing. So most of the time during the week, I'll track my food. And then on the weekends, I'll have kind of untracked meals and stuff like that. So it's that seems to work, but I listen to my body a lot. So if I'm training really hard and I need some extra food, some extra calories, I'll know that and I'll have a little bit extra. I mean, it's always vegan, but just sometimes I'll throw in some vegan pizza or some vegan snacks or ice cream or whatever treats you wouldn't normally have.
So now, what did you think my question was?
How often I wouldn't track my macros, I guess. How often I wouldn't have.
I meant cheat as in like eat dairy, a little dairy.
Oh, no, I would never do it. Not in a million years. No, that wouldn't happen.
It was a trick question.
Yeah. And people ask that sometimes too. They'll be like, do you ever miss it? They'll be like common ones. They'll be like cooking some meat and they'll be like, oh, doesn't that smell? Don't you want to have meat? I'm like, no, it smells disgusting. And I'm like just as likely to eat a plastic bag as I would be to eat that food. Like I don't even consider it food anymore. Like it doesn't even register as food at this point. So I don't know, it's just different. It's been so long that I don't even think about it.
Why are we here?
I mean, really, we're all competing in the Vegan Strong Plant Build team. So we're going to show that plants have all the protein you need and that we can compete at the highest levels as vegan athletes. And it's very special to me because when I first went vegan about 10 years ago, and was learning about it, and I was like, everyone was telling me like, you're gonna lose all your muscle, you're gonna be weak, you're gonna be frail, all this stuff. And I started researching it, and I actually saw the Plant Build team. I saw Robert Cheek and Giacomo and all these people that were doing this already. And it inspired me to be like, hey, I might get into fitness, because the best way to show people that you can build muscle and thrive on a vegan diet is to actually go out and do it. So it kind of came full circle when many years later I was invited to be a part of the team as a CrossFit athlete. And so really we're here to inspire people the way I was inspired, and maybe just start a conversation or change people's minds a little bit about their perceptions and the myths and the way people think about vegans and especially vegan athletes. I'm competing tomorrow, so I'll be doing CrossFit, so a range of different athletic things. I used to be a bodybuilder for a short period of time, then I dabbled in some powerlifting, and now I do CrossFit. So really they say the unknown and unknowable, so it'll be a bunch of different mix of gymnastics, heavy lifting, cardio, everything.
What's a typical day of eating like for you?
Typical day for me, I eat about 3,000 calories a day, so pretty high. I eat a lot of food, and it'll be a breakfast usually before I train. I like to train in the morning. I have a breakfast, something sort of light just so I don't get sick while I'm working out. And then post-workout, I have a big meal, a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of vegan protein sources, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll usually have about 2 or 3 meals during the day. I like to finish eating pretty early, so I go to bed on an empty stomach. It helps me sleep. But yeah, and I get of that 3,000 calories, usually about 170-ish grams of protein, which my body weight's about 160 pounds. So more than a gram per pound of body weight of protein, just all vegan tofu, tempeh, all those different, seitan is a big one that we eat all the time, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, all that kind of stuff.
Do you have any quotes or last minute encouraging words or anything that we didn't cover that you want to get out there?
I mean, that'd be a long conversation. I think the big thing is that, I mean, specific to veganism, really in life in general, as you're trying to do something, as you're trying to make a change, especially if it's a change for the better, there's going to be a lot of people that have things to say about it, a lot of people that'll either doubt you or they won't be encouraging, or they'll just kind of hate on it a little bit. And so the big thing is just, you know, you're doing something right if you're in that position, and you just got to keep going and just ignore what they say. I mean, like with veganism, everyone's going to have criticisms about how it's not the right diet and how you're going to be, like I heard, you're going to be weak and frail. But just keep going, prove them wrong. That's all I can really say, is just prove everyone wrong. Being a vegan, the big thing I'm proud of is just that I am in the best shape of my life at 38 years old, and I did it without harming animals. I mean, I haven't done that in years. And so, you know, I made a lot of choices in my life because I wanted to help other people and I wanted to make a difference. And I think being a vegan is one of the best ways you can make a difference across the whole world. And so I think it's just really incredible to be able to do that.
And do you have any like social media that you want to get out there that, you know, others can follow you, check you out?
Oh, a little bit. I'm not very active on social media. I have an Instagram. It's my name, George Ritchie Matthews, on Instagram. And then I also have a website, georgeritchiematthews.com, where sort of one day going to write a book. I have one chapter done right now that's up there. But other than that, that's really all I'm doing.
Well, cool, man. I'm going to check it out. I'll give you a follow, and I appreciate your time.
Definitely. Thank you.